Marble Palace. Marble Palace is a palatial 19th century mansion in North Kolkata. It is located at 46 Muktaram Babu Street, Kolkata. It is one of the best preserved and most elegant houses of 19th century Kolkata. The house is famous for its marble walls, floors and sculptures, from which it derives its name. Now let's discuss the architectural features of Marble Palace. Malik, a lover of lavish architecture, constructed the main building in neoclassical style with Corinthian columns and bas reliefs, while the grounds and courtyards maintained a more traditional. Thank you.
Hooghly Bridge, also known as Vidyasagar Setu, is a toll bridge located over the Hooghly River in West Bengal, linking the cities of Kolkata and Howrah. With the total length of 823 meters, 2,700 feet, Vidyasagar Setu is the first and longest cable-stayed bridge in India. Hooghly Bridge is named after the educationist reformer Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. The foundation stone for Hooghly Bridge was laid by Indira Gandhi on 20 May 1972. The bridge took more than 20 years to be completed. The bridge was designed by Schleich Bergerman and partner and checked by Freeman Fox and partner, and it was also checked by Bharat Bhari Udyog Nigam. Constructed was carried by the consortium of the Braithwaite Burn and Jessup Construction Company Limited. Construction of Hooghly Bridge began on 3rd July 1979 and the bridge was commissioned on 10 October 1992 by the Hooghly River Bridge Commission. Vidyasagar Setu is a cable-stayed bridge with 121 cables in a fan arrangement built using steel pylons, 127.62 meters for 18.7 feet high. Thank you.
St. Paul's Cathedral is said to be the largest church in Kolkata. It was also the first new-built cathedral in the overseas territory of the British Empire. The cathedral was built to replace St. John's Church, which had become too small for Calcutta's growing European community. By 1810, there were 4,000 British men and 300 British women in Bengal. The materials used in the construction of the cathedral consisted of special bricks. The external and internal surfaces of the cathedral were plastered with fine lime plaster in the form of stucco. The parish wall within the premises of the cathedral is the venue for holding social functions. The eastern wall in the cathedral has paintings of the life of St. Paul painted by Blomfield in 1886. The cathedral's organ with 41 stops made by Henry Willis and Sons of London is still in use. The cathedral complex also has a library. It was built at the initiative of Bishop Wilson, who donated 8,000 of his books and manuscripts. Entry to the cathedral is from the north through a large gate made of wrought iron called the Sir William Prentice Memorial Gate. The cathedral is surrounded by a well-tended garden. It is well maintained in a peaceful atmosphere. People of all religious denominations can visit the church. Service is held regularly. Christmas is a special occasion when a large number of people assemble to participate in the festivities. Thank you.
I am going to give you a brief information about the Fort William of Kolkata and the legend of the Black Hole of Calcutta. One of the Kolkata's finest historical monuments, Fort William was built during the time of the Bengal Presidency and is an architectural marvel. Named after William III, the fort sits on the banks of the Hooghly River and was at the center of the Battle of Plassey fought between the British and the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Daulah. It is also the site of an infamous dungeon called the Black Hole of Calcutta. The original Fort William was built in 1696 by the British East India Company and it was rebuilt by the Robert Clive after the Battle of Plassey in 1758. But there is something sinister related to the formation of the second Fort William, and that is the Black Hole of Calcutta. and the bloody Battle of Plassey that the Nawab lost at the hands of British. Thank you.
Nizam Palace, formerly known as Gulston Park, in a tiled heritage building located on HEC Posh Road in Kolkata. Constructed during the early 19th century in the year 1933. Nizam Palace is among the most frequently placed in Kolkata. Mir Usman Ali Khan, 7th Nizam of Hyderabad, acquired it as his residence in Kolkata. In that time, its former guests were King Edward VIII, and the place was used as a hospital during the First World War. With time, it has become instance part of the social cultural landscape as officious now. You can visit the place to admire its architecture and spend some leisure time there. This place is the finest example of cohesion among residents, with so many people from different cultural backgrounds living together. The place is always caught up in various social, political, region and cultural activities. The archaic building is wonderfully and always bursting with peoples. J.C. Gulston constructed this building as a mark of love for his wife and named it as Gulston Park.
A man with glossy, perfectly parted hair, dressed in satin whites, arrives in his buggy. The quintessential Sahib, with his mame, who collects a cascading gown as they casually get down amid salutes as wishes fly from friends and family. This is imagining an evening at the town hall. Now, resembling the Roman Senate, the Roman Doric style structure was designed by Colonel John Garstin. The building had two entrances. The one at the back was for carriages with a lofty covered portico. The 25 feet high ground floor had a central marble hall and numerous smaller towns used for public meetings and receptions. Balls and concerts took place on upper floor with a 30 feet high ceiling. Now I am going to tell you some points about the Kolkata Town Hall, the Roman Senate in Calcutta. The construction of the building started in 1807 and it was opened to public on 22nd March 1814. It was the site of assassination of Sir John Paxton Norman in 1871. On 17th August 1898, Rabindranath Tagore read out his advocating freedom of speech. Kontho Road. The 58th and 70th birthday of Rabindranath Tagore was celebrated in his presence. In 1898, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose demonstrated his famous experiment on wireless communication before the public. In 2002, it was transformed into a high-tech storytelling museum through adaptive reuse. Thank you.